Here we go. It's a Monday. I'm Peter Boyles in for the fellows. I'll be here all week. December the 29th, 2025, and it's going to be 43 for a high, 48 tomorrow, and 58 on Wednesday. 303-696-1971. And what happens is it's just people just jam it up, knock everything out of the box, and then, boom, you hit a moment where there's open lines. So if you were calling in and trying to talk about either one of these topics or whatever you want to talk about, it's a wide open line, 303-696-1971. We were jammed and getting tons of busy signals and a lot of email. We'll start to read them again, or text messaging rather, and start to read them all again. Talking about two things. One is kind of funny, but enlightening, and this comes from on the weekend I read that Bridget Bardot died. Now, unless you're an old guy, that has no meaning, but Bridget Bardot, I think, gave me my first attention span. I remember the movie and the ads that were taken out in the papers, and there it is. And then I thought about sex symbols and brought it up with Blake, and it's really taken off. And we got that. And then the other one that actually started on Saturday's show. And again, not my choice. I didn't come up with the term, but it's in the studies, plural, the great unchurching of America. And the reality that's being dealt out there is this transformation has profound implications for people running for office, for any numbers of different things, the ability to govern on this moral landscape that we're fracturing moral landscape. And 3 in 10 American adults today, I mean, to get down a list of things on churches closing, and 57% of Americans today seldom, if ever, attend religious service. Now, very possibly they're like Jim, who says, yeah, I am all of these things, but I just don't go near your church. 15,000 churches are expected to shut their doors this year, far more than the few thousand expected to open. These are denominational reports and church consultants saying these things. So, I don't know. Did you once attend and no longer do? If so, then why? And the numbers inside of different parties say different things as well. But it's wide open lines, 303-696-1971. All right, here we go. This is to the wall of shame. How could you forget Barbara Eden? That was what? And Jeannie, right? Yeah, sure, I think so. Yeah, whatever that show was. The advent and expansion of social media correlates very well within the lack of church involvement. Okay. Next one. Can you imagine Joel Altman, our next governor, saying a Negro or Mexican woman is sexy? He can run with that Victor Marx guy. They can run as a tag. Let's see. Belief in organized religion and government. Wait a minute. Believe in organized religion and government is rejection. At its rejection is different than belief in God. I think there's a lot more belief in God with the millennials. Okay, very good. Peter, I think going to church has been supplemented. Oh, I already read this one. By the worshiping at the altar of social media of the smartphone. Is religion gone now? Wow. 303-696-1971. The studies are really interesting to read. It like I said, if you do statistical analysis and variances, you control your universe that you weigh and measure in. And in spite of what's being said, it isn't your individual view of it. It's the view of all of it. So the pews are emptying out starting in the 90s. The connection is clear. And it is going to be, and I believe I said this probably too many times also, but the old religious map of this country has disappeared or disappearing. And despite all these reports about, and again, this plays out here, all these Gen Z men that were being told are returning to church, there's very little evidence to support that. In fact, it's probably somewhat of the reverse. So the overall decline, in spite of what people are saying in the terrible death of Charlie Kirk, there is no Gen Z men returning. It doesn't pan out. All right, we're going to names. All right, we go to Blake. Is that his name? All right. Oh, we got to go to Blake Olson. What am I talking about? It's a little bit after 8 o'clock. I'm so used to doing a show that without this man, this show does not work. He's the idol of teenage youth. People want to grow up and be Blake Olson.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to wear my hat tomorrow,
no.
man. I am, and I'm going to wear my hat tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait.
By the way, I said I made that joke. When the first time I saw you in the hat, I thought you lost a bet. Where'd you get that hat?
My wife bought it for me.
Well,
and it's just, it's just cozy, and
do you know it just hits a point
comfortable
in your life, and I don't care. Remember, it was important to look cool.
Yes. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Obviously.
Yeah. I mean, it was.
Yes.
It was.
Oh, there's no doubt.
What?
I have teenagers and my 15-year-old. Oh my goodness. I got to keep it down, but he's at the mirror a lot.
Oh yeah. Did you remember when you needed to do that?
Yes. Absolutely.
I mean, seriously, what was like the style when you were the young Blake?
Business in the front, party in the back.
No, but serious.
No,
man.
it was it was funny because I went through the phases of really short hair, and then whatever you call it, mullet time. I mean, seriously, mullets were big.
Did you have one?
When I did, and the only reason I did it, I wanted to look like Dan Marino. I saw him. I saw him. I saw him in Sports Illustrated or whatever, and I played quarterback. I'm like, man, I want to look like Marino. So one of our teammates, one of our friends, his mom did all that. If you didn't have curly hair, man, she'd do that perm stuff and make it curly.
I remember guys had perms. That was awful. That was
terrible.
It was awful.
It was horrible. How about you? What was your style?
We knocked off what the black guys wore. I mean, Stacey Adams shoes and stingy brims and
flood. Yeah, we kind of tried to do that too.
Flood pants. Oh, flood pants were what we did. Like what black guys wore, we knocked it off. And
absolutely,
we were listening to music, listening to radio stations, and so we did that. But there was a thing called a hoodlum priest coat.
I know what you're talking about.
Remember we had hoodlum priest?
Yeah.
We had hoodlum priest coats and leather jackets and
that must have been a fascinating time in Pittsburgh.
Well,
it had to have been.
Cuban heels.
Yeah.
That's
so cool.
When I saw Saturday Night Fever, now it's generations later, but the way that kid lived and the clothes and all that kind of stuff. Now, I wasn't the biggest.
What a great movie.
Oh, it's a great film. But
it is.
The clothes horse part of that kid, I really wasn't. But I was.
The attitude, and it was probably pretty similar to the way you grew up.
Very much so.
Absolutely.
And you dressed like that. The music was important. Music was everything.
Yeah. Absolutely. So cool.
When John Mellencamp did. Dancing Was Everything. Cherry Bomb. And it was.
Right.
Dancing and hanging out and smoking cigarettes.
Absolutely, man.
And somebody just said, news.
All right, we'll get to the news.
It is. That's right. It is.
News, please. Here we go.
Blake Olson.
Blake Olson, news and comment.
And it is 15 degrees outside on the Monday morning. You may be in bed. or you may be getting out of bed and you may be enjoying a little vacation right now. It's one of those weeks, but we are here working away, and we're expecting a high of 45 today. News sponsored by Pastor Camp Heating and Air Conditioning. Give them a call at 303-777-1234 to learn more about special savings opportunities on Lennox equipment. Our top story: a Denver family has been displaced from their home after a crash early Sunday morning near Florida Avenue and South Monaco Parkway around 9:30. Investigators say the family was sleeping when a car crashed into their fireplace. Oh, my goodness. Work was done to stabilize the home, but the family will be living elsewhere until additional repairs are made. No injuries, thankfully, were reported. Colorado voters could decide next fall whether local law enforcement must cooperate with federal immigration authorities in certain criminal cases. Executive Vice President Christy Burton Brown with the conservative nonprofit Advance Colorado says this change to the state's constitution would make the community safer, and the Democratic leaders have agreed.
This really isn't a controversial issue when you narrow in on violent criminals and repeat felons, and saying it's pretty common sense that no one wants them free on our streets.
Supporters of Initiative 95 say they submitted nearly 200,000 signatures Friday to the Secretary of State, well above the roughly 124,000 required to qualify for the ballot. The proposal would require police to notify federal authorities when a person is not lawfully present and is charged with a violent crime or has a prior felony conviction. DJT continues to play host to world leaders at his Mar-a-Lago resort.
The topic for both big meetings is peace. On Sunday, President Trump hosted Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Both leaders sounded optimistic after their weekend talks, but acknowledged there are some sticking points to resolve the Russian invasion. Today, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visits Mar-a-Lago, where President Trump is expected to press the Israeli leader to get to phase 2 of the ceasefire plan in Gaza. I'm Rory O'Neill.
Charlie Kirk's accused assassin expected to be back in court today. The judge in the case is expected to rule on media access. So tons of people trying to discredit Candace Owens, including a guy named Gary from Paramount Tactical. He has a podcast, Paramount Tactical. And on his show, he has the estranged son of the man named Mitch, who says he was on Fort Huachuca base and claims he saw Charlie Kirk's head of security there coming out of a meeting with top brass, and Erica the day before. So the estranged son on with this guy named Gary on his podcast.
But he doesn't have a secret security clearance.
Or if he does walk into the Joint Task Force staff duty, he might end up detained and outside getting the canines called on him, as per this report, which, again, I don't even know if this report is real or not. There's so much craziness going on with this report. It's not a license plate number.
They called me on September 9th.
Whoa. Who called you?
Asking me if I knew anything about a Mitch Snow, and telling me that I was listed as his number one emergency contact.
Whoa. So wait a minute. Gary wasn't expecting that. So this guy is a strange son of Mitch, says MP's military police called him and said he was his first contact in an emergency. Gary didn't want it to go this way on the podcast. So this son is basically admitting that there was an incident and that this Mitch was on the Fort Huachuca base. And there was another fumble on the podcast on Friday involving Charlie Kirk producer Andrew Colvette. They both look bad on this. And Erica and the head of security have not given any alibis for that day. So I'm going to continue watching and see what Candace has to say tonight. I mean, it is fascinating. Kings at the Avs tonight in Lodo. Nuggets at the Heat in Miami. Quinn Denker, UNC Bears in Boulder, and they beat the Buffs for the first time since 1936. He had 33 points. Broncos can clinch the number 1 seed in the AFC with a win over the Chargers this Sunday at Mile High. Preparation continues. Players' day off is tomorrow. 14 in Lakewood, 15 in Littleton, and 16 in Denver. You're waking up with Jeff and Billy, but Pete, the man, the legend, is in for the fellas. Blake Olson, News Talk 710, KNUS.
Your 710 KNUS forecast this early Monday. Clear skies, temperatures right around 15 as you start the day. For the rest of your Monday, mostly sunny this afternoon, highs around 40. Mostly clear tonight, lows in the lower 20s. And for Tuesday, sunshine, highs near 50. Weather brought to you by L&L Heating and Air Conditioning. For quick, trustworthy, and dependable service, call L&L Heating and Air Conditioning at 720-851-1691. Visit them online at bestdenverhvac.com. That's bestdenverhvac.com. You'll be comfortable with L&L. I'm day weather meteorologist Patrice Sutter in the 710 KNUS Weather Center.
Love it. Good pick. Jimmy's got the con on a Monday, 29 December 2025. I'm here all week for the fellas. Monday weather, 43 the high and 48. And it just goes on. Let me read the wall, and then we have one line open. Peter, thanks for the attention to this topic. We're talking about the lack of people going to church. As a former missionary, evangelist, and church planter, my wife no longer attends church. Author Josh Packard, I know who that is, has said we're in the age of drones and knowns. People are quitting legacy churches to save their own faith. My wife and I have been attempting to practice house church, that's a term, in Thornton. Matthew 8, speaks and quotes Bible. My thoughts are churches with big numbers can lead to control and mischief with finances. Our youth see this, distrust the church model that they've been given, and don't see a future that represents the radical call of Jesus. A great video series by Tom Wadsworth, How We Got Worship Wrong. That's a very good email or whatever, text message. Let me see. Barbara Eden. I'd forgotten. We're talking about sex symbols. Tired getting my dad to buy me stuff, buy me the outfit too. This is a woman. But I was into me at that point. Interesting conversation about religion. I believe organized religion was created to civilize the masses. Next one. Language patrol at church, such as he, she, etc., with email closures. Don't say illegal, use unhoused instead of homeless. Talking about how churches becoming politically correct. Next one. News so long as Olson doesn't talk about the dumb Broncos. We don't want to hear about it. Okay. Let's see. Do you remember Ratfink coats? I actually spent time with, he's called Little Daddy. Ed Roth was Big Daddy. Ed Roth's son, Little Daddy, who was a big guy. He told me some brutal stories off air about Ed Roth. And the next one is, great show as always, just like the good old days. All right, so now we're going to go to the phones. We start here with Don on line 1. Lines are open, 303-696-1971. Hey, Don, thanks. You're on the show.
Hey, good morning, Peter.
Morning, brother.
We talked about the church thing on Saturday quite a bit. So, first of all, Hedy Lamarr.
Oh, of course. But again, that was back in the day, right?
All time, you got beauty.
Yeah.
You got brains and a lot of class.
She worked. She did.
She had a very tough life when you read about her biography
and what she did in the Second World War. Yeah.
Yeah, just phenomenal and
very good.
Gosh, if you put a lot of girls up there, she just comes off the wall at you.
Very good.
Kind of like
Very good.
Who was the pin-up gal? Marlene Dietrich. She always wore those.
Dietrich.
Tops
I don't think Dietrich was a pin-up, but she was. Who?
Well, didn't she always wear those tops back when they had those missile bras, as I like to call them?
She was in. Dietrich was in. What's the cowboy? She shows up. Come on, Peter. But Destreed Rides Again. That just came to me. Dietrich was great. There's all kinds of stories about Marlene Dietrich. Lots of them.
Yeah. Well, without being real, what we consider the sex bombs,
right? Especially
of the 60s. You look at just real beautiful, sexy women, in my opinion.
Sure.
And she was, I don't think there's anything fake about her. That's probably her real hair color and the whole bit,
Well, remember, she's German, and they flee what's taking place inside of Germany. And that's when Einstein comes, that movement out of Germany. And thankfully, because we get the atomic bomb out of that. but no, Dietrich, she was something. Very good pick, man. Well picked.
So the other thing I didn't get to ask you on Saturday, I wanted to, your opinion on what we did on Christmas Day over in Nigeria.
Yeah, I'm going to bring some of that stuff up tomorrow on the show. We're back in. No, hang on. No, we can do this now, but I mean, it's the same thing that's going on in Venezuela. I mean, the world is what we're watching in Ukraine. The Israelis are now building settlements in Gaza. The Chinese threat to on what's taking place on Taiwan. We are a powder keg now, and one of the things I think that Donald Trump is jockeying for is a peace prize. So he continues to come back to Putin and comes back to Ukraine again and again and again and again. I think he believed that he had a peace prize coming for stopping the insanity in Gaza, but the world is not a pro-Israel place, and so you're not going to get people granting a peace prize to something connected to the Israelis. The Venezuelan stuff, that's anybody's guess. The Ukraine is where I think Donald Trump is trying to get a peace prize out of. I don't know if that's going to be settled. Any of them are going to be settled. So
I did a little research. I had a friend of mine tell me these people, they were targeted weren't ISIS, but if you read in depth, and even AI will make the link. I tried 3 different ways of looking this up, and everything points to involvement with ISIS-funded and ISIS groups. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just all a big quagmire. It never is going to end. It's just going to continue. Once we're gone, it's going to keep going on.
Remember this, that the moment one of their leaders drops, somebody has his place within 10 minutes. You kill an ISIS leader, in any of those situations, I don't care what sort of a revolutionary system is in place. Someone takes the guy's place that was just killed. And they don't know each other. It's really, when you read how it works, it's very secretive in terms of it's a square. And inside the square, there's one guy that knows one guy. And he knows one guy in the other square. And so if we kill whoever the team is or group is or leader is, somebody's got his place. And that's why you can't win. For real.
There's no final solution.
No, there is not.
I mean, it's been going on forever. It's just like religion, Everybody's killing everybody in the name of God, and guess what? God talked directly to every one of these leaders.
Well, everyone. I would wonder, people who attend church, when was the last time you sang "Onward, Christian Soldiers" in your church? They don't do it
I don't
anymore.
know if I don't know if I ever. I don't remember. I went to Catholic. I went to
we
Catholic
sang.
Church.
Well, we
all
sang.
that
We
from eighth
sang.
grade.
We sang Onward
Did you
Christian.
sing that?
Oh, please. And
well, I grew up in the middle of Nebraska. You grew up in the East Coast.
No,
I'm
my
75
point.
and you're 80 something.
My
so
point
a little
is,
bit different.
my point is, it's gone. That song. Show of hands, or anybody tell me, or somebody call the show and say, yeah, we sing it. But I think Onward Christian Soldiers, which was a Civil War song, it comes out of that. They used it World War I, World War II. We sang it. It's gone. That song is gone because they have blunted that part of it. Maybe somebody's church still does sing it, but
don't know.
Or somebody that
I'll put you on the spot before I leave. Do you believe in Christianity, Peter?
No, I'm not a religious person one way or the other.
Yeah. I'm there with you. Hey, listen, I got to run.
All right, man. Thanks.
Good chatting with you. Talk to you.
Thank you, my brother. All right, somebody, do you still sing Onward? Because I think the song has been eradicated. We have a lot of email stuff to read. 710 KNUS, the line. You can join us. One of those flat times in the caller, so you can come on the show. 303-696-1971. Do you still sing Onward Christian Soldiers? I wonder. 710 KNUS. A Monday, everyone. Peter Boyle's got the con. I got it. The fellas off this week, December 29, 2025, talking about a couple of different issues. One about church attendance, the other about sex symbols with the death of Marilyn Monroe. Let me read a bunch of stuff, and then we'll go to the phones. It starts, hey, hi, Pete. When I was a little guy, my mom had a falling out with the pastor at our church. From that point on, to her quote was always, the only people who go to church are those who need to go. That's interesting. We follow the teachings of Christ, but again, it goes from there. Mom was right. My teenage crush was Linda Carter. This is bizarre. I'll read it to you. I stopped church after the guy blew his wife's head off in Thornton a few years ago in a church parking lot. All right. They did Onward Christian Soldiers in downtown Colorado Springs, and I recently heard it in the Salvation Army Church. Jessica Hahn from Texas. Catholic priests, which you don't mention, have turned very liberal. Many older people have turned off going to church because the priest never mentions abortion, the killing of babies, or a sin, or having you accept transgender and what is being done to children is okay. That's the real turn-off stuff of going to church. A big reason younger people are abandoning the church is prosperity gospel that some Christian churches are promoting. They feel it opposes Jesus' teaching. Forget Joel Altman text messaging and the rest of it. They just don't register. All right, here we go. This is Sarah in Denver. Sarah, thank you, and good morning. You're on the show.
Good morning.
Yes, ma'am.
I thought it was kind of an interesting comment when you were talking about Onward Christian Soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
My father was a World War II veteran, and we grew up knowing all of the service songs, and Onward Christian Soldiers was one of his favorite. And when he died in 2009, we were members at the time of Central Presbyterian Church downtown Denver.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we had his funeral. But we had to fight tooth and nail to get one verse of that song.
And why? Funeral. And why did they tell you? Because that was, when I was a boy, that was a sung song. Now, why did?
Yeah, it was a favorite. We sang it in the car going on vacation trips and with great fervor.
Now let's take that apart. Why did they tell you no about your father and singing Onward Christian Soldiers?
You know what? I don't know that there was actually an answer that I can recall, except that there was just tremendous disapproval about that idea. Let's come up with something else. There's got to be something else.
Yes.
Yeah.
but what my understanding is about that is that it shows militancy. It shows, you're off to kill somebody, and so subsequently, in a politically correct environment, that song is not acceptable.
Correct.
And that is, I believe, the answer. But again, when you go to somebody and say, here's my dad who did all these things for his country and for his family, please sing the song, and they reject you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you still go to church?
I do go to church. I stopped going to that church. My mother continued until a couple years before she died, but the rest of my family and I do not go to that church. We kind of watched that church, as far as we were concerned, go in a direction that we were not interested in going with them. But I do go to church now every Sunday.
Now, the church you go to now, and I don't mean to set this up, but if you wanted to sing that, do you think, or request that, I don't know if you can request, do you think that would happen?
That's a really interesting question. I'm going to bring it up with our music director, who's become a good friend.
Okay.
And I could ask him that question, and I think I would get a very honest answer. We do a lot of the very contemporary Christian music now, which is not, it's not my favorite always, but I love the church and I love the people there. I love the pastors and the sermons, but I'm going to ask him that question. I think that's really interesting. I had never thought to ask him.
Well, what I don't know. Like I said, I don't go to church. But when I came across this studies are plural, and I brought it onto the show on Saturday, and it just took off so hard, and I thought to myself, I had to bop this back in on Monday when there's a bigger, it's a different, in some ways a different audience. But are you shocked at, because there are a lot of angry email too, are you shocked that people were or at least not going to church as much? And it's real. I mean, it's not made up, it's real.
Yes, and it makes me sad because I think if you can find the right church, to go to church on Sunday, to have that be a weekly respite from the rest of the world, and to be surrounded by other people who have the same faith. And I find my congregation, my fellow Christians at my church, I mean, I love them. It's going home for me every Sunday morning.
Yeah.
I find great comfort in this world today.
And again, that's the tradition. I think tradition plays out in it. That, where I grew up, there's churches that have closed. I mean, truly, they've lost attendance because the attendees have died, and there's nobody. Although
we are an older congregation, the majority of the people are over 55.
See, and I think that plays out in this as well. Maybe do young people, and that's really, I mean, one of the things that we hear a lot now, especially on this radio station, of saying that Charlie Kirk's death motivated all these Gen Z people to go, but the statistics of it suggest that that's not true. That despite anecdotal, and that's what it's called, somebody voices it, or media reports, meaning talk radio, about Gen Z returning to church, there appears to be very little evidence that it's happening beyond these talk radio examples to reverse the overall decline. People aren't going to church. And I don't know what it means. I mean, I don't know what it says. I'll just read this to you. Peter Boyles yesterday morning on Fox News. Well, that's classic Fox. They had a clip sharing how Gen Z is starting to come to church in real numbers. The clip showed a huge arena, Billy Graham, of young college men and women. But that's, that idea of all Indians walk in single file because the ones I saw do or did, to explain it. But you look at the source, it's Fox, it's going to say that. And I'm not trying to take it apart, but the overall variances don't seem to suggest that that's true. This one says, don't go to church, be the church. I'm not bouncing stuff off of you, but do you think, do your children go to church?
Occasionally. And my grandchildren, actually, I have a young 13-year-old granddaughter who I have been taking to Sunday school for years. When her parents didn't go, I would take she and her two younger siblings. They love going to church because I was bringing them, and she was baptized last spring. She went to the pastor on her own and said she wanted to be baptized. She was baptized all by herself in front of the church.
Going with Grandma.
Yeah.
Grandma's cool though, man. It's like
Grandma is cool.
Yeah, we just found out. My nephew does all this ancestry stuff. He's really geared into it. My brother called me last night, and we finally found out where my grandmother was born, in Ireland. They have it down to the you know, we always knew it was Ireland, but we weren't really ever sure. And now they know exactly where Grandma was born. So,
wow, that's great.
Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, I want to go see it now.
Yeah.
Sarah, thank you. You were the call of the morning. Yeah, it was very kind.
Yeah.
Thank you too
Well,
much.
thanks. I just have to say I talked to you, I think it was last spring, because we had a long conversation when you had the author on of Chaos. And
that's my
I knew
sleeper book. Sleeper book.
Yeah, and I knew, oh my gosh, now his name has gone right out of my head.
The guy's name that wrote the book, I can't come up with it, but yes.
No, not the name of the author, but I knew the character, Jolly West.
Oh, okay. He went into the cell with he. That's one of those guys that just appear through history. But
yes,
the man who shot Lee Harvey Oswald was
he was the doctor that was studying.
He went in the cell. He went in the cell with them, and came out.
So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You say.
No, go ahead. I was just going to say, I called in. We had a long conversation about that because I knew Jolly.
But they think they saw him in San Francisco with Charlie Manson.
Yes. Yeah.
And they were looking for the ruthless killer, and he went in the cell with Lee. Okay, well we'll do it on the other side. But he comes out and says he can't stand trial. He can't go to the Warren Commission. And then he died.
Yeah.
Jolly West. Whoa.
Anyway.
You're the best.
Anyway.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks.
Right after this, everybody, 710 KNUS. Do it again. Morning, everybody. Coming up on time, December the 29th, 2025. Pewter Bowl's in for the fellows, and they'll be back on Monday. Weather as well, it is 43 the high and 48 and 58, but it's just good weather has come in. A couple things to read, and we'll go back to the phones. Hey, Peter, great to hear you in the mornings. We went through catechism. My oldest son, he was in grade school, but when we fell out of the one day when he was 17, he said, we need to go back to church. He explained that he was attending a Christian group at school and wanted to improve his relationship with God. His promoting brought our family back to church. We'll go. The woman was talking about this weird character that appears through a bunch of some very, very confused history. His name was Jolly, and he was the doctor, and he went into the cell with Jack Ruby. And he was there to, as we have learned, the Warren Commission sends him to see what kind of shape Jack Ruby's in. He comes out and proclaims that Ruby was unfit to stand trial and subsequently unfit to go to the Warren Commission, and he dies soon after. He is again seen in San Francisco with Charlie Manson, and the book is entitled Chaos, and this guy made Vincent Bugliosi nuts because he took him on, and Bugliosi's trial of Charlie Manson. And he's a wonderful interview, and you can't get him. We've tried to get him back again, but what he believes in the book, and it's a very lengthy book, and it's again titled Chaos, he believes that what the CIA was looking for was a ruthless killer who had no feelings, almost a zombie killer. And his, what he believes about Jack Ruby, but then what he went on to say about what Charlie Manson was all about. And, Charlie made all kinds of remarks about what his role was and what he was doing. And was he a product like Whitey Bulger of MK Ultra? It's a great book. Anyhow, that's so much for that. All right, we go to Marty in Denver. Marty, you waited. Good morning. You're on the show, and I thank you.
Well, it's so good to be with you, Peter. And, of course, another great topic to put out there for the people's hearts. I know, Peter, you've walked away from the church. I'm so sorry you grew up Catholic and your faith was hindered by that environment. It is. I'm sorry.
I don't need your sorrow, brother, with
respect. Oh, no. Oh, brother, it's not a pity party. I'm just saying that is just not the way to introduce Jesus Christ through the routine and religious practices of Catholicism. So whether or not you accept the apology or my for you, take it, stuff it in the trash can for all you want. I don't care. But you were talking about the rot in the culture and church attendance, or I'm talking about rot in the culture. You're talking about church attendance. Aren't those two 100% connected? The fact that since 1970 we've become this barbaric, pagan, homosexual, completely world-attached country, which started as a Christian country.
How are you living in a homosexual society? I don't think I am. Why?
Well, you don't think so? You don't think homosexual has been in your face and this kind of abortion and all this sexual deviance?
Whoa, stop. Whoa. Homosexuality and abortion are two absolutely different things.
They're both abominations to God.
Well, according to what you're saying, but they're certainly different.
Exactly. Well, that's I guess my opinion based on the Gospels, based on reading the Scriptures, reading on the Bible,
that's fine,
and then living it.
That's fine.
So then, Peter, can I put this on the table for you then? A society that's more founded in, say, homosexuality, abortion, promiscuity, is that better?
This society is not formed. This society is not a foundation in homosexuality. That's ridiculous.
No, it's not founded in. It's had an incursion. Its founding was Christian and freedom, and then basically since the 60s, which are the most corrupt period in history, we have this now.
Well, we've had incredibly... No, don't answer it that way. Look, when the framers put this thing together, many of them were deists, some were Christian, some had no belief systems, they were different, but what they looked for was freedoms. And your freedom and my freedom and the belief. One thing, you got to go back to Jefferson. I try this all the time. Jefferson has three great warnings. The first warning is no, they're not necessary in any order, but Jefferson says no national church. Jefferson says no national bank, and Jefferson says no standing army. They were afraid of what came out of those three elements. And a national church is a very scary thing, or letting a theocracy become the governing body of the country. And we don't have that. You want to go to an Islamic world or go to when the church ran Europe. You can find those places, and they weren't good. So
no,
I don't know what
I agree with
want.
you, Peter. What I'm saying is, I guess you want the leaders of a nation like this. They're influenced by the Christian God, and that's how they go ahead and act on those decisions. So when they lost that, and I don't think that the founders were saying, you know what, I want this country so free that mothers can murder their child any day, all day, and these two guys can basically fornicate on a beach, and that's just freedom.
Oh, come on. Do you think George hold on. George W. Bush claimed to be a born-again Christian. How many people How many people did George Bush kill in the Middle East because he was lying?
Millions.
All right. Now, is he okay then? He's squared away? What?
No, because we watch fruit. Because the Bible tells us in Matthew 7:15, it gives us explicit command to assess the fruit. So he's a scumbag. And Galatians says there will be others that come and preach things other than the good news. That's George Bush.
So, but who then? Who? I mean, I don't get it.
We don't have those.
Do you want one?
We don't have those anymore. Absolutely. Do I want a man who's in fear of God and obedient to God? Give me
the name of the guy that you want to be president.
There doesn't have one right now. It doesn't exist, and that's the cultural rot that I'm describing.
All right, who was the last one?
With church attendance.
Who was the last one that you said he's the right one?
Well, I messed up on Trump. I'm a 3-time voter.
No. Forget Trump. Who in the past is your example of the Christian leader of the country?
I don't have one.
Well, then,
I have to go back over 100 years.
Then who's that person then?
Probably.
Who?
Well, all of them. All of them that are non-Democrats.
No name.
You want presidents?
Yeah, give me the one.
Okay, well, did you start in the short term?
I don't care who. You listen, you pick. It's not my pick. It's your pick. Who do you like?
I don't like any of them.
Well, then,
because I still think they're attached to.
You sound like the Marxist. Well, it's going to work someday, but not these guys. Well, but it's going to work someday. That's what you're telling me.
Well, I'm just telling you that you haven't had a bold, unwavering Christian in the White House saying, "I don't give a crap about any of this stuff."
No, you have.
This is against God's law.
Look, this is a republic, my friend. This is not a theocracy. This is a republic. If you want to go someplace in the world and find a leader who is in charge and he uses religion, I can take you to Iran right now. We can find the mullahs. You can find.
I'm not going to support a false, fake, demonic God. I'm talking about the Christian God.
Only because you say it, but they don't. They say
there's only one right answer.
According to you. According to you.
Somebody's going to be dead wrong, though, right?
Well, right. That's why.
Peter, last thought, and this isn't confrontational.
All right.
Since the 1960s, do you think America is increasing in its joyous freedom, patriotism, or are we going the other way? Are we turning more into a rotted country? I just wonder your kind of glance from the 1960s to present day.
No,
better?
Take it back. Take it back to 1945 when the multinationals took over the foreign policy of the country, when all these different things. Empires fail, my friend, and this is one of them. And this is one of them.
Amen.
They all fail for the same reasons. I love your call, man. Your calls are great,
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, man.
See you.
All right. Let me see. A national church can be progressive and weak too. Look at the Church of England. The Church of England kept Henry on the throne. That's called the divine right of kings. We decided that was wrong. Jimmy Carter, the most religious president we've ever had. That's not true, but he was a religious man. Colorado, whatever that is. Jesus hates fags. That's brilliant. Anyhow, the beat goes on. Your calls are coming up. It's a Monday. Thanks, Jimmy. Pull the pin. Here we go.